Okay, guys. So today in our 829, we are going to look at building these 5 objects on Onshape. Okay, we've got this one here, just a square. It's been extruded, rectangle been extruded, circle been extruded, half a circle extruded in the other direction. And here you've got a rectangle that has that half circle chipped out of it. Okay, creates this arch. So starting with this one, there's a couple ways you can do it. If I do on that top view, I could build a 5x5 square and extrude 15 inches. Or I could build a 5x15 on either the right or the front plane and extrude it 5 inches. Either way, I'll end up with that shape. So we look here. First thing, I named this PLTW 1.2.2. All right, we're going to start with a sketch. So on my sketch, I'm going to first just insert a 5x5 square. Now, if your dimensions didn't get 5x5, you can always click the dimension tool and set it to 5, okay? Or double click that right there and change it to whatever it is you want. But we've finished that square, so I'm going to go ahead and go back to an isometric view, and we're just going to extrude it 15 inches. All right, and there is my first object. Okay, it's this right here. Okay, now a second way to do that, you don't have to do this part, but I just want to walk you through it. All right, we're going to sketch, and I'm going to click this right plane this time. All right, so over here, click the right plane, and I'm going to build a 5, enter, about 15. Okay, so finish my sketch, go back to an isometric view, and we're going to extrude it about 5 inches. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and flip that, extrude it in that direction. And there we go. There's those 2 objects. All right, they're the same thing. We built it in 2 different ways, but I only want one of them. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. All right, so the second object, all right, I'm going to start by building this 5x2 and then extruding it up 15. Okay, so click my sketch. I want to sketch on that top plane. So making my rectangle. All right, so if I click again, it starts another rectangle, but I don't want to make that. So I'm going to hit escape, but I didn't get these sizes the way I wanted them to. So I'm going to click my dimension tool, click this edge right here, and I'm going to change it to 15. Okay. I'm going to click this edge right here and change it to 2. All right. Just realized I made a mistake. This one should be 5. Okay. But I don't like the fact that it's stacked on that other one. So I'm going to click right here and, well, I'm dimension tool. I'm going to hit escape so that I deselect that. And now I should be able to just drag this one out of the way. Finish my sketch, isometric view, and then we want to extrude that object 15 inches. Okay. So at this point, I've got those 2 done. So now I want to do this one. All right, so this one has a 12-inch extrude, and it's a circle, and this line's only halfway, so that's a radius. So all the way would be our diameter. So it's going to have a diameter of 6 or a radius of 3. So I want it to face that same direction as these. So that bottom square is the top plane, that bottom rectangle is the top plane. So I'm going to put this circle again on the top plane. So sketch, top plane. I'm going to try and build it right over here. So I'm going to click and hold that circle on my mouse, and it allows me to kind of drag my screen. All right, start by building a circle. Now, that little symbol right there, it's a circle with a line through it, means diameter. Now, if we go back to our image here, the radius is 3, but the diameter is all the way across. So my diameter, I'm going to type in 6. My diameter is 6. So there's that. Isometric view and extrude it 12 inches. Finish my sketch. So there's a 3 radius or 6 diameter with a 12-inch extrude. Okay, so now up here, I'm going to build this one. Okay, so this one, that line goes all the way across. So it's a 6-inch diameter, but it's not the entire circle. So this one can be a little tricky to make, so pay attention, but then we're going to extrude it 7 inches. Now, with this one, I'm not building that square on bottom. Okay, I'm going to build this circle right here, and then I'm only going to use half of it. So rather than picking the top plane, I'm going to pick, in this case, that front plane. So there, my front's highlighted. Okay, so front plane, I'm going to build it out to the side over here. So I'm going to start by making a circle. All right, that line going across there tells me it's even with the origin. So that's going to make it on the same plane as all the other ones. So I like seeing that. Make my circle. All right, and now it's allowing me to set the diameter, which should be 6. Okay, but now I need to draw a line across here. So if I draw a line, all right, right there, it tells me it's even. That little flat line down there, that constraint tells me that it's level with the origin, which is what I want. So come across there, it goes through the center, touch that edge, and now I've got that line. But it's allowing me to make another one. If I want to deselect something, I'm going to hit escape on my keyboard. And now I've got a circle with the 2 halves there. So there's a couple ways you can do it. I'm going to like to go ahead and get my trim tool, all right, the pair of scissors. And if I highlight that point right there, it's going to go from dot to dot, and it gets rid of that bottom half of the circle. So now whenever I do my extrude, all right, 7 inches. All right, and I want it to go the other, kind of be even with those. So I'm going to flip it. And there's that. All right. Go back to my home isometric view. And then I'm going to build the last one kind of over here to the side. So let's do our arch. So I'm going to start by building this rectangular prism, which is just a 5 by 15, and I'm going to extrude it up 5. Now that 5 by 15 is along the bottom there, so that's going to be my top plane. So sketch, top plane, the top, and then like I said, I'm going to build it over here. So I click the circle on my mouse, drag over. And this one is across the top, 15 by 5. Done with that. Actually, I'm going to double click, go back into it. I want to drag this there, kind of make it even with the circle. And now I'm going to be finished. All right. So isometric view, and let's extrude it. We're going to extrude 5 inches, I believe. Let me double check there. Yeah, 5 inches high. So I built a 5 by 15. Now I've just got to cut this arch out of it. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to do another sketch. And since I'm cutting it out in this direction, I'm going to click right there. right? So I'm doing on the face of the extrude, not one of these planes, but I selected that face, all right? So what I'm going to do now, if you look, this circle, it's a center point circle. So I need to place, I've got a point right there that would be the center of this rectangle. So I'm good with that. So I want to click my circle, go to where I'm right there. If you see that little constraint in the bottom right, the two little lines and a dot, that means it's a center point. So that's the center of my rectangle. So I'm going to click, drag out. Now, if we look, we have a diameter of 6, so all the way across the 6. So I'm just going to type 6, enter. And there we go. Now, I could take my scissors and maybe trim this bottom part. To do that, I probably need to put a point right here and right here, but I think we'll be able to just go with that. So I'm going to finish that sketch, go to isometric, and I want to extrude just that top part of that circle. Now, if we look right here, it's going to add it to it. But if we look at our options, I click remove, it's going to extend out that way. Now, I can just go as far as I need to there, and it's going to cut out that entire part there. Okay, so now that I've built all of those images, okay, I can clearly see them all right there. I can see the dimensions, and this is what my submission should look like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to screenshot. So you guys Control Shift and the window button on yours. Make sure you include your name. So I'm going to just start here above my name and drag in this direction. All right, and then I want you to upload and submit that onto Schoology. And that is your assignment for today. Have a good one.